Hey everybody, it's Commander Clive. Welcome back to another update notes, review, reaction. It's 8.3 coming, but before we go to that, we're going to quickly look at the 8.2 bonus, which is going to be live next Tuesday. So a couple of skins. Green Knight King Arthur. That is kind of lore significant to the Arthurian thing there. So that's a cool skin. I don't care about the other ones. So there's a thing about healing. Healing was a little bit, still a little bit too strong. So we still have the global healing reduction, of course. And it says decrease the time window where full healing is allowed after successfully brawling with an enemy god from 4 to 3 seconds. So less time for full healing when you've ceased fighting. And then all of the anti-heal items are getting buffed, which I believe these were previous levels that they had before all this. So there you go. And then to that end, Caduceus Shield has also had its cost increased. So you can't go on crazy healing sprees. Fail Not was a pretty core thing. Its itemization became pretty ridiculous because it's in every build. So decrease the physical power on that, decrease the crit chance, and increase the critical strike chance on marked enemies. So the passive got buffed a little bit, but all the stats are nerfed. And then Berserker Shield, same thing. It's been getting a lot of use in builds, so cost increased there. Physical power has been decreased to 40 and decreased the attack speed from 20 to 15%. Instead of, and here it says instead of nerfing crit, we're going to buff the counter item. Spectral armor, decrease the amount of damage that critical strikes deal from 50 to 40% of the normal damage. So that is a big increase there. That is a 20% increase in the effectiveness of the passive, essentially. Then Archmage's Gem, a little bit overtuned, so we decrease the scaling per stack. But the magical power has been increased, because it didn't really feel like... This is a weird item because with certain gods, certain mages can't abuse it, so they do tone down the scaling to curtail a little bit of that usage, but it never really felt like a good late game item in terms of its overall stats, so they're giving it more power, which I'm fine with. I like that because it makes Gem of Focus feel more niche, which I do like. And then Archmage's Gem is going to be a standard late game power item. If you want more utility though, then Gem of Focus will have a more unique position, which I do think is cool if you want to consider getting it. Apollo, slight nerf, decrease the power scaling on Across the Sky because those jungle ganks, you know. And Danza, small nerfs here, decrease the base damage on the one. And Uproarious Rocket gets a 1 second stun duration at all ranks. And of course, Cuchulainn being the best solo lane god currently in the game, its physical power has been decreased from its passive from 3 to 2 per level. And decrease the base damage on both forms, Barb Spear and Ground Slam, 75 to 315 down to 65 to 305. And there you go. That's honestly was overtuned compared to some other warrior abilities with base damage, because most of them barely hit 300, I think, at max rank. I think. I'm not positive. Tears, Fearless might be stronger than that. I don't actually know. Whatever. And then Scylla's getting a slight nerf, decreased scaling from 80 to 75% of your magical power on Sikkim. And then Crush getting nerfed, decrease scaling from 90 to 85 of your power, 85% of your power, decrease magical protection reduced from 25 to 20%. Okay, and then we go to the main notes. Here we go. Bunch of these kind of skins. Whatever, I guess the Fenrir one's cool. This is a big meme. And I'm a little scared. This skin's terrible. Plushie Cardanos, fun. We like plushies. Classic Alkaline Kukulkan. I don't know why they want to do this, but you know, that's fine. It's cool. Yeah, this thing. Suku skin, woohoo. He's got too many already. The Unholy Doodle. Rod, this is literally the best skin that's getting released in this patch, in my opinion. Because it's just funny. Like, everything about that's great, dude. Here's a weird Scotty skin with the graffiti theme. I don't know why they're doing that. Why they started that theme. That's not my favorite thing. And a Deathy Chibi Thantos. Look at his fat head. And then this skin is super weird, and I don't know why it exists or whose idea it was. Why is Chalk getting this weird kind of tier 5? Is this what? Did we vote on this? I don't remember what that was. Whatever. And then the Sobek visual update. Ta-da. Now he is Scary Crocodile Man instead of Funny Crocodile Man. I don't know. He was a little more fun and kind of goofy before, I guess, with his design. Now he looks scary, but if the voice pack's the same, it's gonna be kind of, it's gonna be a little bit weird, because I think there's a disconnect with that. Like, now his voice pack doesn't sound like how he looks. But we'll see. Maybe they update it. Then here's the release schedule. This comes out on the 23rd. There you go. Battle Pass nonsense. You get stuff. Hooray. QLL NA West server region will be tested in PTS again. New UI element will prompt NA players to choose between East and West. Easy. Live launch of this region 8.3 will be considered after PTS. Be nice. I don't know if that's going to help me. Texas is a weird spot because depending on where they put the West servers, I'm equidistant between both East and West, which means I don't get any benefit from this if that's how they do it. I will try it though and see. It'd be nice to not have 95 ping every time I play Conquest. And then this god's being renamed to ESET to decrease concerns of demonetization of content videos to remove content algorithm confusion. Yeah! Easy. This is an ancient Egyptian spelling that has been used in some high levels printing. So, cool. The use of the word mine has been fixed to Maya, which is the correct term. Oh boy. A bunch of UI bugs. I don't care about these really. Brute minions spawning too early, fixed an issue where the ability for certain abilities could damage the HP of the down scorpion. Blah 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 blah. Fixed an issue where some abilities were on the previous version of the Conquest map are not working. And then a bunch of random god bugs. I'm not going to read through all these. Then Seer of the Jungle, fixed an issue where this buff could be gained permanently. There you go. Real quick ones. Alright, Stone of Foul rework. Here it goes. Sage's Stone stance were just to smoothly build into the rework. Stone of Foul health combined with both protections gives support players solid tier 2. That gives them a bit of extra power to maintain pressure and protections so that they can take increased damage from both magic and physical gods during the laning and roaming phases. Yep. 1400 gold, 50 health, 20 power, 15 of both prots. So it's being reworked to a support item pretty exclusively. Stone of Foul, we felt that Stone of Foul's passive and stats provided strong tankiness to supports, but it was very hard to feel that tankiness in a fight. In our rework, we wanted to push Stone of Foul into the direction of being an active support item where the player is able to actively weave in basic attacks to increase their mitigation, crown control, reduction in order to stay engaged in the fight. The item now provides both protections, giving the item increased versatility for support builds to fight a variety of team comps in the early and late game. We wanted to move the item away from its niche application and reliance on friendly player proximity and protections in order to pave the way for a more well-rounded item that the support player actively engages with. And the cost is 2,500 gold, 150 health, 35 magical power, 30 of both prots. When you hit an enemy god with a basic attack, you gain a stack of Fowl's Blessing, giving you 2% damage mitigation per stack. At 3 stacks, you gain double the damage mitigation, 20% CCR. This effect lasts for 10 seconds. I think certain gods aren't going to use this. Now, if you're a god that likes to have Stone of Binding, I don't think this is a good item because you won't be tanky enough. Although, if you've got Thieves and Sentinels, that won't necessarily matter. So you could still build this, I guess, on one of those kind of gods. But this is interesting here to give you stacking mitigation buff and 20% CCR. Because there's a lot of support items that don't actually give you this stat. So that's kind of helpful. Anyway, Mail of Renewal. We felt Mail of Renewal provided a strong heal, but far too niche of condition to trigger the passive. This is especially true for the early game when kills occur less frequently. By the time we reach the late game where kills are more frequent, Mail of Renewal would be overshadowed by well-rounded items that did not rely on kills for your team to gain benefits or run the passive. The goal of this rework is to clearly shift Mail of Renewal in the direction of support players while giving them more rounded protections to encourage picking up the item in the early or late game. The item retains its healing properties for the player while also providing healing to their allies by taking hits from enemy gods for their teammates. This allows players to either maintain the front line by receiving more protections when getting stacks and a heal that is useful when laning or in the team fight stage. 2,400 health, 2,400 gold, 300 health, 15 HP 5, 20 of both prots. Not a very tanky item, but the passive, interesting. When you are hit by an enemy god, you gain a stack up to once a second, increasing your protections by 4. Max of 5 stacks lasts for 5 seconds each. At max stacks, upon being hit, you are immediately healed for 15% of your maximum health. This could be broken or not. It depends if you kill the person immediately in 5 hits, then they're gone and they don't get the passive heal, but that might be hard to do. Allies with 35 units heal for 15% of their maximum health over 20 seconds. This effect can only occur once every 60 seconds. Good thing healing anti-heal got buffed because that could get funky in late game fights. Because if you're stupid tanky support with Sentinel's Blessing and Thieves, you run at people and take damage, like bam, allies get healed, you get healed. It's crazy, bro. The tankiness of the item's questionable, but again, Sentinels plus Thieves makes you really tanky, so does it matter? No. Anyway, attack speed item changes have been changed because Duel is poison and it needs to be fixed. So, and this is just aggravating in general to deal with this. It says in 8.3 effects, attack speed slow effects will no longer stack, instead choosing the strongest attack speed slow to apply. It's pretty self-explanatory. So it gives you a thing for stacking items. Once you get enough stacks that becomes the stronger item, it would switch to using that passive rather than another item like Witchblade. So yeah, there you go. Which is kind of making Chalk the best god to do this kind of stuff with, because his attack speed slow is based on an ability and not an item. So I think it still stacks. Not sure. I would believe that it would. That's good there. Okay, Benevolence, increased health from 75 to 100, increased gold per 5 from 2 to 3. This item now has a minimum gold bonus and XP value of 1. Yay! It's just a little better. Makes you feel better to buy this item. Mannequin Scepter, losing the flat damage reduction, and when you defeat a jungle monster who is burned by the passive, you restore 15 health and 15 mana. So they have moved this into a very strict jungle item orientation, which is what it was designed to be. It was supposed to be a jungle starter, and of course it was so busted that a lot of other gods were getting it. So no more damage reduction. So this item is gone out of the solo lane basically. So kick that out. Very strict jungle item now. Eye of the Jungle is seeing a slew of changes. First, the magical power provided didn't bring enough for mage junglers to really feel it. The base HP 5 and attack speed pushed this item well outside of the jungle role, as we have seen rise in many roles. To prioritize it, these tweaks better focused its identity as a jungle starter, while the new sustain while in the jungle solidifies that focus. Increase magical power from 20 to 25. While in the jungle, you gain 15 HP 5 and 10 MP 5. Decrease HP 5 from 15 to 10. Decrease attack speed from 15 to 10%. And then Protector of the Jungle, which was kind of a overstated item, in my opinion, and nobody really paid that close of attention to it when it first came out, or when they first added the starters. I saw it and I was like, this item's kind of broken, dude. What? For magical junglers, the raw power, attack speed, and protections provided were often solid even before considering the boost on the jungle. So they've decreased physical power from 65 to 55. Decreased magical power. This is important, from 100 to 80. That should have been done. And the attack speed's been decreased from 35 to 25%. Since time, people aren't getting it as often. So they've decreased the cost and given it more MP5 sustain party. Sentinels give increased cost from 500 to 600. A little more fair. Tainted Steel, decreased cost from 750 to 700. Increased physical power from 10 to 15. Increased magical power from 15 to 20. Again, going along with our anti-heal buffs. Ta-da. There you go. Death Toll, because it's kind of broken, decreased cost from 750 to 650, but wait a minute. Decreased health restore scaling from 0.75% of your maximum health to 0.4%. Decreased mana restore scaling from 1.5% of your maximum mana to 1%. Increased physical power from 10 to 15. Increased magical power from 20 to 25. No longer heals off of towers and phoenixes. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. We've gotten the bullshit out of here. Amazing, isn't it? Let's embrace stats not being nerfed, but again, no longer heals off of towers and phoenixes. Hooray. As we stated above, we are shifting Vampiric Shroud to focus more on offense and less on defense. Mage players who are worried about physical damage, but I like the physical protection, or need a little extra sustain, will find this item more attractive due to lower cost and better clear, while opponents can better create damage that sticks. I mean, it's kind of stupid to give a mage starter just 15 prots for no reason, so... Cost has been decreased from 850 to 750. Decreased health restore from 6 to 4. Decreased physical prots from 15 to 10. And increased magic power from 15 to 25. There you go. War Flag. Increased buff duration from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. And Banner also gets it. Just make it a little bigger window. A little easier to use. Cupid, Heart Bomb. This ability now has an added audio and visual element on the AoE to signify that the Heart Bomb will stun the hit target. This information is shown to all players. That's nice. I like knowing when I'm going to be stunned by a ability. With most abilities, that's not a problem, because it's on hit stun. This is not an on hit stun, so I think that's probably fair to do. So you can better plan around it instead of just have to run away because you're going to get stunned because you don't know. Anyway, here we go. Hachiman. Mounted archery decreased the post fire of his ultimate from 0.73 to 0.4 seconds for animation consistency, I'm sure. He still needs to complete his post fire animation before he can take further actions. My throat's going to explode, isn't it? From reading as fast as I was earlier. I may not read all the descriptions then. Spawn a set. This ability no longer trigger item effects to activate after using an ability. Hydra's Lament and Bumba's Hammer. Because if you're ulting 1, 2, 3, 4, you get a new hit 4 autos, new spawn, and it'll proc the effect. You just keep doing that as long as you get them. And that's kind of broken because no other god can do that like that. And that would be highly unfair. And if your attack speed is like 2, you get it every 2 seconds you get a spawn. As long as you hit a target, hit an enemy god with all your ulting. But 2 seconds to get that and then do another on-hit effect, that's kind of broken. Anyway, Mulan has been underperforming dramatically. Spear thrust increased slow duration from 2 to 3 seconds. Grapple decreased cooldown from 16 to 16 down to 14. Scaling down to 14 per level. This ability can now, her ultimate Divine Mastery can now be cancelled early, so no nonsense of having to ult out of danger and be stuck in place and die anyway, because this ability is stupid. So, that's nice. Athena, Confound. Everyone says Taunt, but that's because that's the effect. The CC effect it does, but there's the actual name of the ability. I wonder if people actually know that. Probably don't. Whatever. Increase the duration from 1 to 2 seconds to 1.2 to 2 seconds. A little bit more early usage there. Now deals 50 to 170 plus 30% scaling. Does it actually deal damage? I didn't know it did that. Hold on. Excuse me for a moment. Let me actually look at that. I didn't know the ability did damage. Am I stupid? No, it doesn't. What? Why? Why are you giving a massive CC ability extra damage when she's a guardian? I mean, Kubakarna has a CC that doesn't deal damage. Or, I don't know. This is really stupid. I don't like that. That's kind of dumb. I don't see the point of this. Horus is getting a slight buff. His cooldowns are shorter at all ranks on Updraft and Fracture. That's kind of silly. This god's still stupid. Good. Just no one's playing him. Amuzin Cobb. His hive has been increased. Max hive 6 to 7. Honey buffed, increased slow from 20% at all ranks, scaling up to 30. From starting at 20, scaling up to 30. Extra bit of control to stay in team fights because of his continued vulnerability, because of how the god functions, but I don't know. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. He's still a very difficult god to run in Conquest, because he is not safe. Anyway, G Blanca, increased max darts enemies can be hit by from 3 to 5. This affects hit damage only and is reduced on extra hits. Poison still does not stack. Increased max darts for that fired total from 10 to 15. This creates much smaller gaps between the darts at max range and a higher likelihood of more darts hitting at close to mid range. There you go. Thor, Berserker Barrage, increased physical power scaling on final hit from 50 to 60%. Soul Heat now takes longer before it starts to decay from 4 to 6 seconds. Apwash, buffs for this guy. Don't know why people find him to be one of the most annoying gods in the game, so let's just make him more annoying and people will just hate him more and not play him. I don't know. People that like Apwash will still play him more. I happen to like Apwash, but yeah, don't hate on me for that. He's fun to play. Most of my game time on him is probably in Duel, which is sad. Not sad, it's just really weird, stupid. I don't know why I do that. He's not a good god in Duel, but it's funny anyway. Whatever. Hollow Ground, increased healing from 5% of max health to 7%. Corpse Explosion, increased initial damage scaling from 10 to 20%. And then finally, Loki, Flurry Strike, increased flurry hits scaling from 18 to 25%. Total scaling from 160 to 195%. 7% over 5 hits for 35% scaling. And that is going to do it for 8.3. Everybody, Talons of Tyranny. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed that. Be on the lookout for maybe PTS stuff. I don't know what I'm recording. I think I gotta do the Sobek update at least, you know. And with that, leave a comment down below if you want. As always, check the helpful links down in the description. And I will see you guys next time for some more Smite. Have a good one.